sort of different location, same appearance. Today, I want to talk about something that, quite frankly, I haven't talked about before, simply because I'm finding that as I grow as a person and just as a booktuber in general, I've been wanting to introduce myself to more things, to more types of books, to more genres, I guess, just to different kinds of things. And so today I want to discuss, but I also want to ask a favor of you on nonfiction books. Now, I am typically a fiction reader. I read young adult, everything. Typically, I branch out into new adult, and I do read adult and stuff like that. And I'm usually a contemporary fiend. I'm someone who likes to read a lot of contemporary. But if I do go a little bit non-contemporary, I typically do paranormal. So that's my shtick. That's my formula. I typically stick to it. But as I'm growing as a person and just, encountering life, I've been finding that I want to read differently. I want to read more critically. I want to read bigger, I guess, is a word that I'm gonna use. And I've been wanting to read more nonfiction. Now, the reason I typically stayed away from nonfiction is because it was super uninteresting to me. It was so boring. The writing was so bland. It was honestly like boiled chicken. Like, where's the flavor? Like, I just wasn't about it. But lately, I've been encountering some really, really good nonfiction works. I read Aziz Ansari's Modern Romance, which granted isn't like, the type of nonfiction that I'm speaking of, but he's a great, instance for me. I also read Ta-Nehisi Coates' Between the World and Me, and I really enjoyed it. It was something that I personally, at the time that I read it, I needed to read it. It resonated with me in a way that, I didn't expect it to, but it also didn't resonate with me in a way that I didn't expect it to. But I will link my review of it in the description down below if you're curious as to what my thoughts are on that book. It's a very heavy book, very, very culturally relevant, especially for Black people, especially. But that kind of awakened me a little bit to wanting to read more diversely than how I've been before. I want the whole reading experience. I want to be able to say that I've read every type of book, I guess. And while that could be asking a lot, I'm not quite sure, because really I don't know all the types of books that there are. But I want to read things that resonate with me in present day, or I want to read things that have actually happened or have a root in our history. And that's not to say that fiction doesn't, but there's something about nonfiction that is a little bit more tangible, I think, and is a little bit more real. And so I have been wanting to get some recommendations from you guys on some nonfiction reads that you think I'd like. Now, let me be clear. Oh, Obama, let me be clear. I am very particular in my nonfiction. I really can't read things that are just text, that are just basic, boring. Like, I need some kind of dynamic to it, which is why I'm super excited to read Hamilton. I'm super excited to read Hamilton. But I also have a couple of other nonfiction books that I own that I want to read. One of them being the new Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. You guys have seen this book before. I have had it forever and I want to read it, but this is definitely one of those books that I need to be in the right mindset for, because it's such a heavy topic, and because it resonates with me personally. I need to prepare myself for the information that I quite frankly kind of know what's in here, but to have it really displayed out for me, it'll be an emotional ride for me personally. There are so many nonfiction reads out there that I'm sure I would love. I would absolutely love. I have a few lined up for me at the library that I am going to be checking out soon. But because this is such a new genre for me, I would like to know some recommendations from you guys. What were some of your favorite nonfiction reads? Like, they don't necessarily have to be biographies or autobiographies, even though those are really nice. It can be, you know, an analytical text, it can be an educational text, it can be anything. I would just like to know what you guys think are really great nonfiction reads. What were some that were your favorites that you've encountered? And talk to me about them in the comments. Like, share with me why you enjoyed them. I would love to know that, because that's probably the only way I'm gonna really get excited about a book that I've never heard of. But yeah, I'm really curious, what are your thoughts on nonfiction reads? Is it something that you feel we as readers need to do a lot more? I'm not gonna say, hey, everyone must read nonfiction if they are a reader. You're not a true reader if you don't read nonfiction. That's not true. That's not true at all. You read what you wanna read. But do you feel that people would benefit more from having more nonfiction reads under their belt? I just want to make sure that I'm not missing out, one, on a growth experience, and two, on a really fantastic genre just because it seems intimidating to me. Does that make sense? I hope so. But yeah, leave me some recommendations down in the comments. Also, let me know what you think, you know, about nonfiction reads, you know, as a thing. I think they're really, really valuable. I know that I read a few when I was in high school and college and even as a master's student. But, you know, when they're given to you from an educational perspective, sometimes you're just kind of like, whatever. But I want to read them just because. And I really, really look forward to your recommendations, really. So comment down below. Make sure you thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. And of course, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel for more videos from this girl. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next one.